Everybody,
Are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. I didn't hear the prompt say, recording, starting.
Impressed.
Yeah, they keep changing the buttons on the service.
You gotta be,
Uh,
you gotta be on your
I
game.
gotta be up on my buttons. This, welcome. Glad to have you with us
I
for
could say something.
another Thursday at 1 o'clock. How you doing?
So far, so good, but it's still early.
1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I mean,
ask me around 3 or 4.
oh, okay. Then it's not gonna be so good. You know, I have been thinking about something, and I've mentioned it before.
And I
It's
never had the answer.
it sometimes bugs me, but have you noticed there seems to be more and more and more commercials for asking people to donate money for mostly nonprofits,
Oh, yeah,
but
all nonprofit.
but
I
they
mean, like
all
the animal ones.
the ASPCA,
Yeah.
where you see these poor animals are freezing to death in the cold, and please, for just
Oh, boy, that
$19
gets
a
me.
month,
Oh, I
and
gotta
we'll
tell you.
send you this wonderful t-shirt.
I wonder how many they get, because that's a tough ad.
It's a tough ad. I mean, it tugs at your
It
heartstrings,
does.
but then you turn the channel and there's Marlo Thomas tugging at your heartstrings to help kids with cancer at St. Jude's. And for just $19 a month, you can help these children, and we'll send you this t-shirt or something.
Or this little blanket.
Yeah, that's Shriners.
Oh,
We'll
sorry.
send you this adorable blanket.
Or the kids in Africa.
The Africa, say the Hungry Children program. No Kid Hungry. That's with Jeff. Is that Jeff Bridges or something that
It could
does
be Jeff.
the commercial? But just $19 a month, 63 cents a day.
Everything.
You can help the child, and all of them, with the exception, I think there's a couple of them that ask for a donation of just $10 a month, but
10.
yeah.
I haven't heard
In
that
fact,
one.
I think St. Jude is one that
No.
asks people to sign up for $10 a month. Anyway, but it seems like every month there's a new nonprofit that comes along. The March of Dimes is one of them that recently started, and for just $10 or for
For
$19 a month.
Is it 19 or 19.99?
$19 a month, and they say that's only 63 cents a day. It's a psyche thing to
Yes,
say, well,
definitely.
63 cents a day, that's not
Definitely.
so bad. But $19 a month comes up to $228
A year.
a year. So a lot of people will say, well, that's not an awful lot of money to contribute. But on the other hand, you keep hearing about how terrible the economy is. And yet they're out there reaching into people's pockets, trying to get them to commit to
Well,
spending $19 a month.
Not only is it the economy, but they're getting less, I think, from Washington. I don't think they're giving as much.
Maybe major
to the
donors.
Nonprofits and major donors. And everybody needs a little something extra, and they need to make their quota. So,
to keep
yeah,
things going.
sure.
And so they tug at people's heartstrings,
and they do well.
and they always
by doing that.
add some kind of a premium,
Mhm.
because, for instance, with the ASPCA, they'll send you a photo of an adorable animal that you can with your donation,
You adopt.
you kind of adopt. What is it? World Wildlife associations used to send out a picture of pandas,
Mhm.
help save the pandas.
Mhm.
The interesting thing is, I always, in the back of my mind, I always wondered why $19 a month. And I found out why. Are you ready for this, folks? I mean, and this is what makes Opposite Saxes also an educational option for you, because you can learn stuff. And who knows, it may come up in a trivia game that somebody might say,
You think that would?
yeah, why do they ask for $19 a
Okay.
month? And why don't they ask for 20 or
Why don't
25
they,
or
Stuart,
something?
ask us
Why-
for more
Okay,
than
the
19.
reason is because the IRS has a rule that nonprofits must send a receipt and report to the IRS any donations of $250 or more per calendar year. So do the math, folks. $19 a month comes up to $228 a year. Under the
that threshold.
IRS threshold for the nonprofits having to report.
Right.
So that way they can get millions of people to send $19 a month and they don't have to
They
report
don't
it
have to report it or send a receipt.
to the IRS. Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed that you researched that.
Well, you know how sometimes the researching something like that comes from a certain degree of frustration. Because, that's what I say, one commercial break, there is somebody saying we got to feed these children all over the world. So for $19 a month, click on the QR code or go to text this number to whatever to sign up. And you say, gee, that sounds like a good cause. Then the next commercial, Shriners wants to help all these children with their afflictions, to help them, and the ASPCA and the March of Dimes. They're all great causes, but
you're right.
Unless you're in a position where you say, oh, another $19 a month, sign me up.
Well, I mean, truthfully, it doesn't sound like a lot of money when you put it that way,
It
but
isn't a lot of money.
but why? But I did wonder, everybody has $19 a month.
Yeah.
And I just never thought to look
And
it up.
and I mean, we are generous people. We
think
donate
so.
to a lot of things. And I make it a point every January, I take out my checkbook and I make at least a $20 donation to a number of causes. And it may not seem like an awful lot of money, but my feeling is that if I can donate $20 and a million other people will donate $20, that's $20 million going to that cause.
But what you think is a nice amount of money, someone else might say, pish posh, that's nothing.
But you see, I would rather donate $20 to 20 organizations than to try and say, which organization am I going to send $200 to? You follow? And I mean, I don't think my concept is that far off, because at least you can say I'm helping a lot of different causes, and I'm that way with veterans groups. We are that way with medical nonprofits. We are that way with religious nonprofits.
Yeah. It's hard to determine which ones, because you feel bad, you're leaving out others that you would like to, but we can't possibly write a check to everybody. Maybe there are others that can. I would venture to say the average American cannot.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure that those of you that are watching and listening to this show are probably nodding your head saying, yeah, I know, because I keep, open your mailbox every day. There's a solicitation for something else.
Not only the mailbox, the email.
Well, emails too, but especially in the mailbox, Alzheimer's and cancer organizations and children programs, this and that. So, it's very, very difficult to accumulate all these requests for donations, and then for you to have to try and make a decision as to which donations have your priority. Because I guarantee next month there's going to be a couple more coming in the mail, or you see on TV that are going to be requesting money, maybe $19 a month. And you say, that's a good cause and we should give to that.
I will be so happy when this election is over, because, I mean, you talk about donations.
Oh, yeah, well,
and on the computer, it's constant, and it's not $19 a month. They're happy with $5.
Yeah.
I mean, but then it doesn't stop there. If you do give the $5, then they're writing you again, well, can't you give to this one and that one? And it's really never ending.
Or if you give $5 to the local candidate, then the state candidate gets on the list,
but
and they're asking for it, and the national candidates. and
It's
yet,
getting to be obnoxious.
yeah, well, but then you see that there was a fundraiser and they raised $30 million
Oh,
at a fund, and
what do they
I'm
need to buy
thinking,
$5 for?
yeah, if you have a fundraiser and you can raise 20 or $30 million, what do you need
Yeah.
to nickel and dime
Everybody else.
me and everybody else for $5? You know, and I mean, I have already made up some decisions as to certain candidates that I may want to support, but it's almost to the point where if you keep asking me for money and all, maybe I'll withdraw my support for you. I don't want to, but you know,
Yeah.
enough is enough. There has
I
to
know,
be a way to just reply, you know,
you can say, take me off your list.
yeah,
I'm sure
delete,
you
please,
can. Yeah.
stop,
Unsubscribe.
stop for
Yeah, yeah.
for texting.
I don't know why I don't. I guess I should. But yeah, I think something has to be done in that regard. And they've talked about it, but they've never gotten anywhere
Well,
with these donations and the campaign.
well, yeah, because
campaign.
then once one election is over, the next cycle starts and
Mhm.
you get the note, thank you very much for your support in the last election and all. We want you we want to stay in touch with you.
Right.
So please sign up for your $5, $10, or how about $19 a month? You know,
It is, it's just never ending.
gets to the point
everywhere.
where you say, let's see, $19 a month, that's a pizza. Yeah, am I
Depends
willing?
what kind of pizza you're getting.
Yeah, so.
Could be more, could be less.
And honestly, I've given that thought when I watch some of those commercials. I'm saying, am I willing to give up a pizza, you know, every month to send that money?
Well, for your
to-
health, it would be better.
Yeah,
And for
right.
the kids or the animals, it would be better.
Especially if I give up you know, that pizza every month to donate to the Feed the Children
Yeah,
Foundation.
feed them. Don't feed yourself. Well,
Or
we
maybe
don't
call
need-
up the pizzeria and say, would you please donate my pizza to the Feed the Children Foundation? Go deliver it to their office.
right, and by the time it gets there.
Right,
There's no easy answers. I think everybody has to do what's in their hearts.
Yeah.
And they will, but
and I think the one thing that we agree on, even though the show is called Opposite Saxes, is that we encourage everybody to find organizations that could use a little bit of your financial support, but choose the ones that you know, support and feel close to. And I also would encourage you also to look into the local chapters of those organizations and donate to the local chapters rather than to the international or the national organization. Because
yeah,
sometimes those funds get tied up in overhead costs in the local organizations. Like, I'll give you a few examples. Your local firefighters and police unions, sometimes the local chapter of the American Red Cross, because in times of need, they spring into action and help the local people. Find the local chapters and all, and say, I'd like to make a donation to your
the
chapter.
local ASPCAs in the southern states are having an awful difficult time, and I don't know if it's the same around the country. They have so many dogs and cats, so many animals that need to be adopted that they are
Yeah.
overwhelmed and they are having to do what they don't really want to do and what they're
Right.
not there for.
That's right. And so
And
your financial support
it's scary, it's
can
awful.
can help with adoption of those animals, or at least while they are waiting to be adopted, to be able to feed them and cover those
Yeah, it's
costs that they
heartbreaking.
need.
Yeah,
You know, so you know, look over your list of causes that you believe in and all, and then, you know, act accordingly. That I think that's the message that
I think you're right.
we would send to all
Yeah,
of you.
you're right.
And one other message, and it won't cost you $19 a month. Come back every Thursday at 1 o'clock and join us for another episode of Opposite Saxes.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.